Hi, fantastic human! In this video, we are continuing where we left off. In the last video, I explained the structure of HTML and what you need in order to write an HTML document. We also did everything we needed to do in the head element, like link our CSS file. So if you haven't watched that one yet, here it is. If you already know what to do, cool beans. If you find these videos helpful, please like and subscribe to help with our YouTube algorithm so we can reach more people. So let's get coding. We do need to check out the original webpage first, so let's see. We have the newspaper as the header, and then we have two rows. So I think let's get started with the header. We should start off with creating a header tag. So let's go ahead and do that one. The class we will call brand header. And then inside the header tag, we will have the actual heading, which is nested in an H1 tag or an H1 element. Gives us that nice header, and the class we'll call this brand, as that will be sort of like our brand, and we'll call our newspaper the Times. Great. So that will be our HTML for our header, so that's it. And we should go check that out. So don't forget to save your document and then go to your index file where your index file is saved and just double click on it, open it up in your browser, and voila, there you have it. So back to the original, we did the header. Next is the first row with 3 separate stories, and the first story is a heading with 2 paragraphs. So let's get started on the first row and the first story. For our row, we will be using the section element, which represents a standalone section. The class will be row. So we have section class equals row. Our stories will be inside article tags. An article tag is a tag that specifies independent, self-contained content. For this story, I will make the class story and quarter, which I will explain in a moment. Now, this article has more than one class, which we'll use later to style our HTML with. For the story heading, we will create an H1 element inside the article tag, and the class will be article title. You can name the article whatever you want to call it. I am going to call mine Learning HTML. There we go. So don't forget to save, and let's go check it out. Let's refresh the page. Learning HTML. Now we need to add 2 paragraphs. Both of them will be in p tags. So let's put a p tag, and the class will be article text. For the actual text in the article, I'm just going to use a random text generator. So let's go search for lorem ipsum. That one should do. And I am literally going to just copy this random text, which we can just press copy and paste it as my paragraph. So let's save that and go to see what that looks like. Refresh and voila. I'm literally just going to copy paste the first paragraph for the second paragraph, just to make our lives a little bit easier. Let's go check that out, and I'll also explain to you why I used quarter. The reason I used quarter is because our story sits in a row of 4 columns, and it takes up one of those 4 columns. The story with the image takes up half of the row width, as it takes up 2 columns. And row 2, the list of links, take up 3/4 of our row width. Okay, let's do the kitten story. As with the first one, we are going to be putting this inside an article tag with the class being story and half, as it takes up 2 columns. Then we are going to add the h1 with a class of article title. And then you need to choose your actual title. So I'm going to be going with breaking kittens are adorable, because they are. And then let's go check out what's next after this. Okay, so we need to add an image and 2 paragraphs. So let's go steal 2 paragraphs from our previous section over there. And there we go, we have 2 paragraphs. And now let's go and add an image. So let's go add the kitten image. We're going to be using the image tag, which is a self-closing tag. And the class will be article image. Remember to use easy to remember names. So our source is, we're going to leave that empty for now. We're actually going to be using a placeholder image from a really cool website. It's called Placeholder Kitten. So essentially this image is going to be a placeholder on your website, and it changes every day. So all we need to do is just to copy this link over here and paste it into our source. So that's sort of like your URL. And then we're going to change the width and the height, and we're going to make the width 500 and the height 250. Clearly I've done this before. So voila, it's a miracle. I love this stuff. It's amazing. So for the third story, I am just going to sort of fast forward the code for this because it's exactly the same as the first story. You can literally just copy and paste that code, and you don't have to type it out like I did, and then you can just put in the information that you need to change. So yeah. Righto, so the first row is done, and you can see that looks awesome, and we're on to our last row, and then we're done with HTML, which is epic. So to begin with, we need to create a new section for row 2. So we're going to go section class equals row, just as we did at the top. Once again, our first story is a quarter article, so you can literally just copy and paste your first or third article or story in here and change the details as needed. I'm once again just fast forwarding over this section so that we can save some time. Now that's done, you can see that everything still looks pretty bland and it's just one long page. But we will change all of that with our CSS. For the last section, as you hover over these, the cursor changes, meaning they are hyperlinks. To create these, we need to make an unordered list with a list of links. Start with a UL tag with a class as story 3/4 and other sections. Now let's create the first list item, which is politics. So the class will be site section for one of the other sections as above, and then site section politics for politics specifically, And then we need to use an anchor tag, which is an A, for the link. So we're going to go A, and then the class will be section link, and the href, which is URL, is going to be hash, because we aren't actually linking it to anything for now. But that is where you would put your URL. And then politics. Now we will have a bullet point that is blue and underlined, and a link that leads nowhere. And it's right over there. So for the rest of them, which are technology, local, opinion, and sports, copy and paste the first LI or list item and change the last cite section to a suitable class name for that specific category. For example, for technology, do cite section tech. And bazinga, there you have it. That is all of the HTML. If you got lost with the last bit, check out the link in the description box below to the actual code. Let's have one final look at our HTML page. So there you can see the list of links. So in the next video, we will do the CSS to make it look the same as our original newspaper. If you stuck it out this far, thank you, and consider subscribing. Stay safe out there, guys.